When all is said and done, ultimately much more is said than done. Lou Holtz. Good afternoon and welcome to our weekly informative video on commercial real estate. And today we're going to touch on a topic that has become a bit of a buzz term over the years, which is distress. So it's no secret that one person's misfortune is often another person's opportunity. That's just the way of the world and certainly the way of commercial real estate. We know that fortunes have been made in downturns. However, it's important to remember that the game has changed. It has been said that we are in a bit of a recession, or at least in very tricky times right now. And so the fortunes that were previously made in the Great Recession or the Great Financial Crisis or the Savings and Loans Crisis are different than the way things are playing out in today's world and market. So the first point to consider when it comes to distress is that real estate is ultimately always supply and demand driven. So what you'll see today is that the opportunities of truly distressed real estate, no matter how distressed they might be, are often being bidded upon by many more parties, which is ultimately driving the prices up even for some of this distressed real estate. Right now in the marketplace, even though we have seen quite a slowdown in transaction volume due to interest rates and some other geopolitical factors, there's not that pervasive distress and the opportunities are few and far between. So remember that when you're bidding. The second point to remember is that the market right now is very bifurcated, meaning asset class by asset class, market by submarket. Everything is performing differently. So you can't compare the office market in the central business district of Chicago to the industrial real estate market in Miami or in Orlando. It's an apples to oranges comparison. So you can't think that just because there's distress taking place over here that means that that's going to play over into a whole other property segment and market. Point number 3 is that distress takes time to play out. Ultimately, the reality is a lagging indicator of times prior, usually 6 months or more. There's a whole process that these property owners go through to do loan workouts, loan modifications. And so it really takes time for the distress to manifest itself. And so, this is one thing to take into consideration, is that patience is always very highly beneficial to have because you don't want to be, jumping on things too soon. You want to wait for that distress to really play itself out, and that's where the opportunities are going to be made. Point number 4 is that it pays to think different or think out of the box. I'm sorry to say, but if you are looking to pick up multifamily in Dade County, Miami, the party's basically over. You missed the boat, at least as far as that explosive, appreciation is concerned from the 2020 to 2022 years. So if you're really looking to get some really solid deals, you want to go to markets that are very much less tapped, for lack of a better term. You want to have that first mover advantage. So think farmland in Virginia or something of that variety that has far less competition, or it's less known. You may have better chances of picking up some really favorable deals. Point number 5, our last point, is that we should always be taking a long-term thinking approach as opposed to a short-term thinking. Sometimes you have to hit a base hit just to be able to come up to bat again and hit that home run. So oftentimes, we get too caught up on trying to win on one particular deal or take, a loss on a certain sale, whatever the case may be, and that prevents us from breaking free, moving forward, and being able to execute on a long-term plan. Everybody over the course of life, whether in real estate or anything else, take some losses or some L's, as the young kids are saying out there. So don't be afraid to take 1 or 2 of those on your long-term path to building a successful portfolio. So that's all we have for today. As always, stay healthy, sharp, strong, and safe. Reach out to us for evaluations on assets, referrals to great partners, and until next time.